What's up, everybody? Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham. We are back with another live edition of the show. And as we always do, shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are watching from. We'll get some shout outs going. And then here in just a few moments, we already have a super chat before the show even started. We'll get that on screen in a minute. But want to get some shout outs going first. We got Nico in Modesto, California. We got Jason in Scotia, New York, Fields Prods in Chicago, Nick Rimus in Chicago. So is Ben. We got John in Omaha, Nebraska. What's up, Liz? Denise in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We got Keith in Rockford, Illinois. Nico in Modesto. We got Anthony in Bainbridge, Georgia. H-Town from Bear Down. What's up, man? Brian in Pittsburgh. Kalamazoo is where Mason is watching. Eric in Troutman, North Carolina. We got Remy down in Mexico. Bear Down from Mexico. I love it. John Russell in Las Vegas. Ryan Poles in Kauai. It's a good joke. Charles in Rockwall. Continue to shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are watching from. JM in Waukegan as well. Brian gets the party started here on a Tuesday with the $10 super chat. He says, let's start off the day with the super chat. Now on to the negative vibes. Concerned about the O-line. Davis is AWOL. Depth non-existent. What options are available at this point in time? Well, first of all, Nate Davis did return to practice today. We're going to get you guys caught up on the injury report here in just a little bit. But yeah, I think the D-line has outperformed the O-line based on all reports from training camp so far. I'm excited to see what a game looks like, but yeah, up to this point, I would say that that is the case. Appreciate the super chat, Brian. And guess what, Brian? That's a shot. $10 super chats equal a shot. And so that is what I'm going to do. Get this thing started here with Brian. Appreciate that. Cheers. Shout out to Brian for the $10 super chat. We've got Sam Lektara with the $10 super chat as well. That'll be another shot in just a moment. He says, and by the way, we got Jake Chipper, our newest producer here at Chat Sports, filling in for Nick Roloff today. Sam Brown, executive producing. And Chip, you're not familiar with this, but Sam Lektara every week throws us a hypothetical. So let's see what he's got this week. He says, would you rather win $6 million randomly by choice and off the grid, or earn $4 million while the whole world watch your hard work and payoff? Recognize, appreciate you for it. Both are tax-free. I think the $6 million. I don't need the recognition. I'll take the extra $2 million, right? Am I on my own there, Chip? Weigh in here.
$6 million randomly by chance off the grid, or $4 million while the whole world watch your hard work pay off. I'm going $6 million off the grid.
Yeah, give me the $6 million. I just, I don't need the recognition. I don't want the recognition. No. I appreciate you guys who recognize our hard work. I do, but it's a $2 million difference.
Yeah, that's not light. That's not
light.
If
it was like $200,000, I'd be like, oh, okay. But $2 million? Come on. Give me the extra $2 million. Appreciate the hypothetical, Sam, and here's a shot for you. Let's go to Ben, who's next up. First time super chat, and we'll flash our super chat menu after we hit these next two, because that also gets you guys an item. Cheers to Sam. Ben Prouty says, you ever thought about plugging in at right guard? I don't know if you're calling me big. I am a big guy, but I could not play right guard for the Bears, believe it or not. I would be concussed after one rep. So, no, I have not thought about that, Ben. Appreciate the first-time super chat, and that'll get you something here in a second. Keem78, hot take number 7. He was given hot takes last week. Bears defense ends season top 5 in turnovers. That would be sick, man. If this defense is top 10 in takeaways, I'd be very thrilled. Top 5, sign me up. That would be absolutely fantastic. Super Chat's just rolling in here early. Oh, Geezer with the $2. 'Tis the season, on with the show. Listen, when the Super Chats come in, we gotta recognize that. We got a lot of content to get to. Don't worry. We'll flash the Super Chat menu, then we'll keep it rolling here. Here is our Super Chat menu for the day. We've got first-time Super Chatters equals drink. Got to take a sip of my Happy Dad here. So here's one for that one earlier. And that means if you've never super chatted before, like YouTube tells us if you're a first-time super chatter. So drinking for that. $10 is a shot of Fireball. $20 gets you a sticker on the Justin Fields boot. Got a few more to add from last week, but we're almost filled up here. And then $100, new guy Jake Chipper, a.k.a. Chip, does a beer bong. Some of you guys witnessed him do a couple beer bongs and I think a boot as well.
I think a boot
the other
was
night.
included.
I think he did a boot during the Yannick Ngakoue stream. So if you guys wanted to see him take down some beers, $100, he'll take down a beer bong, and we can alternate. I'll take some down as well. So if anybody's interested, we'll make that happen. Should the Bears sign Jadeveon Clowney? This is the live poll question today. Type S for sign or P for pass. Get some shout-outs going here. Do you want Clowney in Chicago to double dip with Yannick Ngakoue? Jaron Thomas says sign. So does Christian. John PB. Marty K says pass. Sith Gaming says pass. Kenya says sign. We got Jason saying pass. Danny Perry says sign. What do you guys think? You want Clowney as well? Aaron says sign. Maxwell says sign. JBH says sign. So does Bear Down. Jesse. We got Chez saying pass. Tyler's also going to pass. Tyler wants to sign him. Charles says sign him. Anthony's passing. More signs than pass. 65% say sign. 35% say pass. So it's interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about this one later on in the show, but I think something that could be a possibility. Now, who is the biggest training camp winner so far? Biggest camp winner up to this point in time. Drop a name in the comments. Biggest camp winner up to this point in time. What say you? And not necessarily the best player at camp, but the biggest camp winner. John Taylor says Chase Claypool. I completely agree with that one. We got Claypool from Jason, and Becker says Justin Fields. DJ Moore from Jaron Thomas. Claypool from Ben. Bear Down as well. Robert Tunyon from Christian. I like that one. Tyler Scott and Claypool. A couple of good ones. Tyler Scott's had some drop problems, especially in the last week or so. Billings from Anthony. JBH says JF1. Poles from Sauce. Yeah, listen, you get Ngakoue in here. Mercedes Lewis. Love that. Keith Riggle says Mercedes Lewis. Trubisky, he's not with us anymore. Not with the Bears, I should say. Brisker in the chat, couple of Briskers in there. So continue to get those training camp winners here. Let's get a shout out to Tito, who gets a sticker on the Justin Fields boot. Shout out to Tito with the 20. He says, so the O-line depth is kind of tweaking me out. So maybe next season we should grab the best center or guard in the draft because Tev's in bad shape. Cody getting up there, and Ngakoue for another year on pay and pay Bosa next season. I don't think you're getting Bosa. I think the Niners are going to end up getting that deal done and keeping him around. But, yeah, if Ngakoue has a good year, I'd like to bring him back beyond this season. As far as the O-line goes, yeah, I think center is going to be an area to figure out next year. And, Tito, you're going to get a sticker on the Justin Fields boot. Shout out to Tito P.
Shout out Tito.
It's good, Tito.
First boot sticker of the day.
There's this sticker right there. Tito P. Don't have the best handwriting, but there it is on the Fields boot. Get the Titos going in the chat. Shout out Jesus. Appreciate that, Tito. Who's the biggest training camp loser so far? Who's the player that you're like, I don't know. Not a great training camp up to this point. What say you? Biggest training camp loser. Shout out to everybody saying Tito for the super chat. Jaron, Kenya, PB. Biggest training camp loser. Nate Davis, it's a decent one. Valus Jones, he's been up and down. I thought the first week he was good. Second week, not so much. Today he had a good practice, it sounded like. So up and down. Dante Pettis, yeah, he hasn't practiced yet. That's not ideal for a player on the bubble. Trevis Gipson from Anthony. Kindle Vildor. Yeah, and I think a lot of these responses are in response to the Bears' unofficial depth chart coming out where some of these players landed. Jake Tonjes, yeah, he got cut. That was a bummer for him. Alex Leatherwood, Trevis Gipson, Tyler Scott. I think Scott has been more good than bad. He's just had drops. Like, he's constantly open. If he can clean up the drops, that's going to be a very, very good thing. Super chat from Bear Forever 14 Shout out to Bear Forever 14. He says, how many points do the Bears beat the Packers by in week 1? A, 30, B, 40, C, I stopped counting after 80. I don't think they'll beat them by 30 plus. I do think they'll win. You got to start flipping the narrative of this rivalry. They're coming to your crib. It's basically Jordan Love's first career start. You got to make a statement. You got to win this game. So I'll have an official prediction as we get closer to week 1, but I do project the Bears to win that game, and I expect them to. I really, really do. All right, before we jump in, if you love the Bears, like this video, hit that like button. And by the way, we're $50 away from 100. If we get a $50 super chat in the next minute, Chip and I will do a beer bong race. You in, Chip?
Oh, I'm in.
50% discount. That would get us to $100 before the first segment. So I'm going to throw a timer on my phone. If that happens, Chip and I are bong racing after the first segment. So here it is, 1 minute on the clock. But let's get to 100 likes before we... Oh! There it is. There it is. That didn't take any time. Guess who delivered? And Chip, I don't know if you noticed this the other night, but when we get a $100 super chat or more, this one from Sealand, boom! Sealand says, someone say hypothetical 4 or 6 million. Yep, 6 million, boom. Yeah, I mean, come on. I'll take the extra 2 million. Like, that seems like an easy decision. But Sealand, you're a legend. First preseason game Saturday. I think we'll see you in there. And Chip and I, after this first segment, are going to do a beer bong race. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to pour mine in here now to kind of get it ready to roll. Then after the first segment, we're going to do a race here. So appreciate all of that. Sealand, you're a real one. Get the booms going for Sealand. Jesse, Jaron, JBH, Jason M. You got to love when Sealand steps up. All right, here's what's coming up on Chicago Bears Now, the latest Bears news and rumors. We have some training camp updates, injury discussion, so catch you guys up on everything going on at Halas Hall. Live Q&A, if you have a question, use hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. We will answer as many of those questions as we possibly can. Bears depth chart reaction. They released their unofficial depth chart going into the preseason opener against the Tennessee Titans. I have 5 takeaways that I want to explore there. And then Bears versus Titans preseason preview. Game number 1, it's this Saturday. We made it, folks. The preseason is here. Shout out all the booms in the chat. Jaron, Jesse, Larry, Christian, Robert, PB, Jesus, Chef. Sealand is a real one. We good over there, boys? Okay, we got all this and more coming up on Chicago Bears Now, right now. Chicago Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. Use code BEARS20 at manscaped.com to get 20% off plus free shipping at checkout. The best men's grooming products out there are from Manscaped from head to toe. Go check out Manscaped for the best men's grooming products. All right, my name is Harrison Graham. Let's get you caught up on the latest Chicago Bears news coming out of Halas Hall, including some injury updates here. Several players did not practice today. That's been a theme recently. Some guys have been absent. A couple players did return, so we're going to outline that as well. But let's get you caught up on the latest injury report from Bears training camp. These were the DNPs from practice today. Roschon Johnson not out there. He's kind of been in and out. He's missed a decent amount of practice up to this point. Dante Pettis remains on the NFI list. He's done some stuff off to the side some days, but he has not been activated to practice. Joe Reed not out there. He's lower on the depth chart anyway, so lower leverage there. Lucas Patrick did not practice. He left FanFest on Saturday with an undisclosed injury. DeMarcus Walker, he's missed about a week now, so certainly something to monitor there. Actually, he's almost missed 2 weeks, I think, at this point in time. 6 more players who did not practice. Tremaine Edmonds, 4 straight practice, not out there, not ideal. Dylan Cole not out there. Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson, both of your starting safeties. 2 of your potential starting corners, for sure, Kyler Gordon, who's going to start at the nickel, and then rookie Terrell Smith, who's been competing with Tyreek Stevenson. So 11 guys not practicing. And outside of Joe Reed, the other 10 are guys that are going to make the 53-man roster and in a lot of those cases start. So while Matt Eberflus says none of these are in the serious category, they're in that day-to-day mold, you still want guys out there. I mean, when you have 10-plus guys not practicing, that's not an ideal situation. Now, these two players did return to practice. I do want to dignify in a limited capacity. Nate Davis, who had missed a good chunk of time at right guard, he is back. He worked in limited capacity today. Jack Sanborn at linebacker, he returned in a limited capacity as well. So that's positive. Two players that should figure to play quite a bit. Obviously, Davis starting on the offensive line, and Sanborn is kind of that number 3 linebacker next to Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards. Now, are you concerned about the injuries? Type V for very concerned. Type M if you're mildly concerned, like you're not panicked, but you're like, eh. And then N for not concerned at all. I'm in the mild category. I'm not very concerned because none of the injuries have been deemed long-term, so that's good. I'm mildly concerned, though, because in a few of these guys' cases, they've missed several days, and there doesn't seem to be a new update. So to me, that's more than being not concerned at all. So V for very concerned, M for mildly concerned, or N for not concerned at all. Now, Yannick Ngakoue, he made his debut for the Bears at practice. First time on the practice field. They, of course, signed him last Thursday. He did his introductory presser on Friday. Then he had to fly home, get some of his stuff, and get moved to Chicago, all that good stuff. And he got in on Monday, which is an off day. And, of course, today, first practice out there. Wasn't a padded practice, but he was out there participating in a limited capacity, like a couple of those players who are coming back from injury. Obviously, there will be a ramp-up period. Eberflus and the strength and conditioning staff have a plan together to kind of ramp him up. I would be shocked if he played in the preseason opener Saturday. And quite frankly, you don't need to see Ngakoue in the preseason if you don't want to. But, maybe you get him some run in the second or third game, but don't need to play him in this one. But I think something that really stands out is the Bears put him as a starting defense edge rusher immediately in their initial unofficial depth chart. So they're not messing around. They know Ngakoue is going to play a big role on this defensive line, a team that struggled to get the quarterback last year. And that's something that he does not struggle with. He can very much provide a pass rush prowess where he's had 8 or more sacks in all 7 years of his career, which is why we talked about him a bunch this offseason, because this is the type of player Ryan Poles needed to get to help bolster this defensive line this year. And something else that was interesting is the whole chatter about Ngakoue this offseason is, he doesn't stop the run. He's a rotation guy because of that. Both Matt Eberflus and Alan Williams called him a 3-down player. They expect him to play a lot. They don't think his run deficiencies are as bad as people say. And Ngakoue said, I'm going to prove it this year that I can be a positive in that area. So he's got to go out there and do it. But the point is they did not pay him to be a rotation player. Like, he's going to play, I would say, 70+% of the defensive snaps. So that's exciting to see. Hopefully he can hold his own in the run game and obviously be dynamic as a pass rusher as he has throughout his entire career. Now, how hyped are you to have Yannick Ngakoue in Chicago? Scale of 1 to 100. I'm at about a 95, man. I was pushing this narrative all offseason, and it finally came to fruition. I'm pumped to have Ngakoue in Chicago. What say you? Scale of 1 to 100. Appreciate Manscaped for sponsoring today's show. You know what I'm going to do soon? I'm going to pull out the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, give myself a little trim, and then afterwards, plenty of products to help, kind of spice up the beard just a little bit, right? With their different products that come with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It comes with the scissors, the brush, the comb, the beard balm, the conditioner, the shampoo, and the Beard Hedger itself, which is the shaving product, is absolutely fantastic because a lot of products I've tried in the past, get a lot of hair tug, a little razor burn. You don't like any of that, but very smooth, advanced skincare technology from Manscaped, which I'm a fan of. The charging station lasts for a long time after you give it a good charge, and it comes with all these different attachments. But you know what attachments it doesn't come with? Multiple guards. It is just on a 20 rotary device, so you don't have to fill up a drawer with all these guard attachments for different lengths of however you want to shave your beard down to. Go check out Manscaped. It's still hot as hell. You want to keep that beard nice and groomed, nice and trimmed as well. Promo code BEARS20 to get 20% off at manscaped.com. It's Manscaped. Your balls are going to thank you. Appreciate them for sponsoring today's show. Okay, let's get to some more practice notes here as we continue with today's show. Let's talk about the offense a little bit. Justin Fields, more downfield throwing today, according to reporters who were at practice. You know, the Bears have really zeroed in on with Fields this offseason and in this training camp. Quick passing game. Get the ball out, be accurate. Because you know what he's done pretty well through his first 2 years, even though he's been inconsistent as a passer? Downfield throwing. That was a strength of his coming out of college. That's been a strength of his in the NFL. But he's missed too many layups his first 2 years. Quick throws, slants, screens sometimes, little curls. Like, hit them on time and on target. That's been a focus. But today they opened it up a little bit more. Took some more downfield shots. He hit some. He missed some. You know, Bears Twitter was freaking out about that. I'm not going to panic about Justin Fields' downfield throwing ability because I've seen him do it consistently through 2 years in the NFL. That's one thing he has done pretty well as a thrower, but obviously you do want to get more of those reps in practice, so you're starting to see that. We'll also see, if we could see it on Saturday, in the preseason opener against the Tennessee Titans. Subscribe and join us on Saturday for our Bears-Titans preseason watch party, as watch parties are so freaking back, baby. I can't wait for this. Game is at 12 Central. I think we're going to go live an hour early. At minimum, it'll be 30 minutes early, but probably an hour. Turn the notifications on after you subscribe so you know exactly when we go live. But we'll get you ready for kickoff. We'll have live play-by-play coverage and analysis and have some fun during the game. And then we'll have a full post-game show as well. Bears, Titans, preseason opener. Don't miss it. Okay, next practice note. Tyler Scott, guys, the rookie wide receiver out of Cincinnati, he gets open a lot. Like, this guy is running double moves. He's beating guys on press coverage. He consistently gets open. If he can fix his drop issues, which that's been a problem, he has dropped a decent amount of passes throughout training camp. If he can fix that, or at least lower that a little bit, look out, because this guy is a refined route runner. He is electric on the double moves. He kind of reminds me of a younger Darnell Mooney, but I think he's a little faster. I mean, Tyler Scott can be very, very explosive. Him and Justin Fields have connected on some big plays throughout this camp. I'm excited to see what the rookie out of Cincinnati can end up doing. Okay, let's get to the next takeaway from practice here. Terrell Lewis. The guy keeps making plays, man. He's kind of been a rotation guy in his career. He's had some injuries, but you know what? He's consistently made plays throughout this camp, and we referred to the defensive line depth chart earlier. He's ahead of Trevis Gipson. That's telling to me. They believe in Terrell Lewis up to this point. I think he should make this team. Now, if the preseason games come and go and he's lays 3 eggs, maybe that changes things. But based on what we've seen in practice so far, Terrell Lewis has been one of your better pass rushers. Now, Ngakoue just got here. He's not going to be better than Ngakoue. I don't think he's better than DeMarcus Walker, who's been nicked up. But you could argue he's been that next guy. Now, he's listed behind Rasheem Green and Dominic Robinson, but he's certainly flashed more. He is ahead of Trevis Gipson, though, which I think is notable now. Maybe that's more notable for Gipson than Lewis, but Terrell Lewis has flashed, and I'm excited to see what he can do on this defensive line. Football is back. Who is excited for the preseason opener against the Tennessee Titans? If you are, type me down below right now. Type me if you can't wait for Saturday, and type me if you're joining us for our watch party, because I hope you guys are. Bears, Titans, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications. That way you never miss out on anything we're doing here on the channel, much less our watch parties. We'll be live for, 20 plus? 3 preseason games, 17 regular season, hopefully some playoff games as well. At least give me one. Make the wild card. YouTube.com/BearsNow. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. All right. Get some me shout-outs. And, hey, we got a $100 super chat during that segment from Sam Lactara. Let's go. Let's go. C-Lan Sam Lactara with a $100 super chat. Boom! Shout out to Sam Lactara. Get the booms going in the chat. He says, Kanye West voice. C-Lan, I'm going to let you finish, but my hypothetical scenarios are the greatest of all time. I'm here to stay, baby. Listen, I love you guys going back and forth. It's always a lot of fun to see you guys bring the energy. Hopefully I bring the energy as well. Sam, you're a real one. Sealand, you've been a long time real one, of course, and you love to see it. Shout out to Jason who says boom. We got Larry, Christian, Busy, Christian, Michael, Danny Perry, Levante Rogers, Rod Riddles saying boom as well. Appreciate all of the real ones. We also got a 5 from Lizard King. First time super chat. If Claypool performs as well as he's been doing in camp, do we have a top 10 wide receiver room? And if so, what does that mean for our offense? Well, cheers for the first time super chat. He says, if Claypool performs as well as he's been in his camp, I think top 10 is possible. Would I say that right now? No, I got to see it on game days, but I do think it's a possibility, Lizard King. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. So here's what we're going to do. Let's throw up hashtag Bears or Super Chat first so you guys can get some questions in. And then Chip and I are going to race. And then I don't know if Chip has even computed this. He now owes a second beer bong for that $100 Super Chat. So we'll race now, and then he's going to do that second one here in a little while because here's our Super Chat menu. First time Super Chat, I'm drinking $10. We got Fireball shots. $20, Justin Fields boot sticker to get on the boot, and then $100, Chip does a beer bong. We also made a deal if we got to 100 before the first segment that we would race, so that's what we're racing for. Chip will owe you guys a second one here in a little bit. So he's going to grab his beer bong, and we'll keep this rolling in a second. But get your questions in. We are going to get into a mailbag momentarily. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. You can either use one of these or grab a different one, Chip, whatever you're feeling. Go with the Happy Dad. Why not? Everybody type Chip in the chat. I don't know if y'all were with us during our Yannick Ngakoue stream, but Chip came in and knocked out a couple of beers. He had some fun. Shout out to Sam Brown for hopping on the producer chair just for a second, keeping the graphics moving. We are going to get into that mailbag. Oh, yeah, he says he can't hop on anything because he shattered his ankle at Lollapalooza. You want to tell the folks how Chicago was this weekend? Had a good time?
Yeah.
Other than your foot getting
great
fucked?
Time, other than the boot I'm staring at right now on my foot. Third time in Chicago. Love the city of Chicago. But
you were at Soldier Field.
I was at Soldier Field for Chelsea Dortmund Wednesday night. I told Harrison very clearly, and I think I got to communicate to the Bears fan base, I'm officially pro Arlington Heights. Because I liked Soldier Field. The accessibility is just brutal from my standpoint. But
Sam is Team Arlington Heights.
But good time. I mean, good stadium, good atmosphere, great city. It's a great city. One of my favorites.
Love it. What a trooper, Sam Brown.
No trooper here.
Should we get that boot on screen here? All right, Sam, you want to count us down here? Shout out Chip in the chat. Chip hanging out. Any predictions here? You gonna beat me here?
Yes, the correct answer. You have to say yes every
He's
time.
saying yes. How can I say no? All right, here we go. So Sam, count us down from 3. 3, 2, 1, go. On go, we will start.
Go. All right. And
type Chip or Harry. Who you got winning? Let us know.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that's an early lead for, I believe, Harrison. I think Harrison? Yes, sir. It's a tight one.
Woo!
Photo finish, but Harrison gets the job done.
I'll be honest, that's a rare win for me. That's a rare win for me.
Hey, you take him or you get him. I think that simply proves that Chip is on the roster bubble.
I'll tell you what. Since Chip already owes you guys another bong, if we get another 100, which is a Chip beer bong, I'll take that one and we'll do another race and he'll get redemption. We'll give him some redemption. We'll give him a redemption opportunity. So if we get another hundy, we'll race again. So we'll make that happen. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Larry says, Harry, boom. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get another crack at it. If you guys want to drop another bone in there, we'll make it happen. All right, we're going to get into your questions in just a moment, so appreciate everybody for tuning into today's show. Once Sam and Chippy are ready back there. And by the way, round of applause to Chip. First time producing Bears Now Live today. Kid's doing a great job. He's taking the feedback from Sam Brown, who's been doing this for a long time. So shout out Chip in the chat. This is kind of tough. John Taylor, Chip, practice squad guy.
Hold on. Who said that?
John Taylor.
Practice
That's
squad?
tough.
I mean,
You need redemption. You need a second chance.
he can only see, the performance I'm putting out there. And to be fair, that performance, might have been practice squad worthy. But you know what? I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm at least getting on the 53.
We'll see if Chip gets a second chance here. We'll see if we can make that happen. All right. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. And we're going to jump into today's show. Let's get it. On today's episode of Chicago Bears Now, could the Bears sign Jadeveon Clowney to pair with Yannick Ngakoue? Also, we're going to get to all your questions, so use hashtag Bears on today's mailbag video. And lastly, if you love the Bears, like the video. Hit that like button if this is your squad, if you're pumped to have Bears football back. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Could Jadeveon Clowney become the next member of the Chicago Bears? My name is Harrison Graham. Let's explore that before we get to your questions. Ian Rappaport did have an interesting note that after the Bears signed Yannick Ngakoue, he reported that Ryan Poles was also interested in Jadeveon Clowney and trading for Danielle Hunter. Obviously, the Vikings restructured Hunter, and that option went away. But the fact that he mentioned Clowney, I think, is pretty interesting because Clowney is still available. It makes me wonder, could Ryan Poles double dip? Could he double dip at pass rusher? We talked about this with Justin Houston as a potential guy to also bring in. He, of course, went to Carolina, but Jeremy Fowler had the note that Houston was a backup option to Ngakoue as well, so it sounds like they are interested in him. So it just makes me wonder. I don't think they would do it right now, but I do think, depending on how the preseason games go the next couple of weeks, if an injury pops up, if other guys are struggling, that Clowney could become an option. Now, his pass rushing statistics, if you will, have kind of come and gone throughout his career. I don't think he's ever lived up to being that number one overall pick, but he's an excellent run defender, which, Ngakoue, that's kind of the question with him. So you could kind of zag while you zig with Ngakoue, get a great run stopper on one end, great pass rusher on the other end. And at times, Clowney's had good sack production as well. Had 9 sacks just a couple of years ago. Now, I do think this Bears defensive line as a whole is in a much better position than it was. A, because the D-line in camp has actually looked sneaky good. Terrell Lewis has had a good camp. DeMarcus Walker's been banged up, but the Bears are high on him. Some other players have stepped up, especially on the interior. Obviously, you add Ngakoue. But I'll be honest, if the price is right for Clowney, $6-7 million or less, I'm probably in. I would take the chance on Jadeveon Clowney and bring in yet another guy who can rush the passer a little bit, stuff the run really well, and give you quality snaps on that edge position. Even though he had only had 2 sacks last year, he still graded out as an above-average pass rusher per PFF with 29 pressures. So I would definitely be intrigued with Clowney. You got Ngakoue. Could you get Clowney too? What say you? Should the Bears sign Jadeveon Clowney? Type S for sign or P for pass. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you guys get hit with that ad break, go ahead and reply with an S for sign or a P for pass. Now, if you're watching live, shout out to Brian, boom, for that super chat. We will get drinking for that one here in just a little bit, and we'll definitely get that that super chat here on the show, even though he didn't ask a question. But let's start with Jason Nelson with this one. He says, what position is the biggest current need to move the needle? What player is available that could do that? Or does the team just need another year together to see what works and what it needs? The biggest current need to move the needle. That's a good question. Maybe better offensive line play. You got to protect Fields. Now, I think the O-line's going to be better, but in camp it's been inconsistent. I want to see a couple games go by first before I judge Trench's play because it's hard to do that in practice. But I think protecting your quarterback and getting after the other quarterback, that would move the needle for me, no doubt about it. Immortal, will Khalil Herbert catch more than 9 passes, his total from last season? I think so. He'll catch 10 or more. I don't expect him to be a 50-catch guy or something like that, but he's got to improve in that area. Can he give me 20 catches, 15 to 20? Give me 200 yards receiving? You don't have to be incredible in that area, but I think he can be a good runner in this system. We know that, but can he be an adequate pass catcher? That remains to be seen. Tim Griffin, which rookie has a surprise season and who will disappoint you? Which rookie has a surprise? Who will disappoint me? I would say a rookie that could surprise is Terrell Smith. Maybe it's not a surprise at this point, but the fact that fifth-round rookie's competing for a starting job, he could surprise. One that could disappoint us? Don't know, right? He could. He's had an up-and-down camp. You took him top 10. If he has a underwhelming rookie season, that would be disappointing, right? You need him to protect Justin Fields. I'm not predicting that, but if someone underwhelms, his impact of underwhelming would definitely be felt. Jaron Thomas, then I do want to flash Brian's $100 super chat after that. Jaron says, does Hester finally make it into the Hall of Fame next year? He damn well better. I'll tell you that right now. It's a joke that Devin Hester hasn't gotten in his first two opportunities. I get it. Most of his damage is as a returner. He is the undisputed best returner in NFL history. He changed the way teams kicked off and punted to him. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. If he doesn't get in this time around, we riot here on Bears Now. Shout out to Brian. We're going to give him a big boo with the $100 super chat. If you're not watching live, this is a reference to the live show. If you are watching live, well, Chip is going to get some redemption potentially here in a little bit with a little beer bong race. So stay tuned if you are watching live. But first, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's show. If you want to make some money this preseason, create an account with BetUS. And the way to do that is to go to chatsports.com/Bears. Use our promo code BEARDOWN to get a 125% deposit bonus. Put down $100. They will give you $125 for free at sign up with BetUS. But you got to use our link and promo code. Look, betting on preseason games is fun, right? Because it makes the game more interesting. The Bears are 3.5-point favorites against the Titans in this preseason opener. The over-under between the two teams is 37.5. So they're basically predicting like a 21-17, 20-17 type of game in the Bears' favor. Give me the over. Give me the Bears to cover. Let's have some fun. Bears football is back, and have fun with it with BetUS. Promo code BEARDOWN at chatsports.com/Bears. All right, Eli Johnson. What's the deal with Mooney, and when is he coming back? What's his role? He's been back. They're still ramping him up a bit, but the Bears actually listed him as their number 2 receiver. I expect DJ Moore, Claypool, and Mooney to be the top 3 guys, with DJ as the one, Mooney and Claypool. It's kind of interchangeable. They're going to use 3 receiver sets quite a bit. The question will be, when they're running 12 personnel with 2 tight ends, which receiver checks out? Is it Mooney? Is it Claypool? Does it depend? Probably depends. I expect him to have a big impact on this offense, though, Eli. Jason M., what is your level of concern about the Tyler Scott drops? I'll say like a 5 out of 10. I'm mildly concerned. But I'll say this. I'd be more concerned with him if he was catching more balls but not getting open a lot. He's getting open. You can fix the drop concerns. Like, you can work on the jugs and get those things tightened up. Like, sure, he may not ever have DeAndre Hopkins' hands, but remember last year, Christian Watson had major drop issues coming out of college early on in camp. He had a pretty damn good rookie season for the Packers. Remember a couple years ago, Jamar Chase was dropping balls every day in practice? He's like one of the best receivers in the league. I'm not saying Tyler Scott's going to beat Jamar Chase, but I think he can be a really good player in this league. And he doesn't need to be a star as a rookie. Be a complimentary piece. Be the 4th receiver. That's all we need. Tiger2308, what is your opinion about our secondary? Do the Bears need one more strong safety or free safety? I think the Bears are in a pretty good spot. I was hoping that Chicago would bring back DeAndre Houston-Carson, but that ship has sailed. I think that the pairing of Jaquan Brisker and Eddie Jackson at safety is a really good duo. Sounds like Elijah Hicks has had a pretty good training camp as well. That 4th spot at safety kind of up for grabs between A.J. Thomas and Kendall Williamson. I like the cornerback group, too. We know what Jalen Johnson brings to the table. Tyreek Stevenson and Terrell Smith are competing for that second outside spot, and I think Kyler Gordon's going to make a big jump at nickel. From Ernest Roper, the Bears roster is shaped up to make a good playoff run, but the O-line depth will make the team killer. I do have concerns about the O-line depth. Like, if you ask me right now, what position needs depth more than anything, I would say the offensive line. Lucas Patrick, who's actually nicked up right now, is probably the only backup where you're like, okay, if he has to play, it's not a big deal. But after that, it's like, Borum, Leatherwood, Jatiri Carter. I don't love those options. So maybe on roster cut down day, if there's a surprise cut at offensive line, there could be a new addition for this team. Now, are you a Bears Now subscriber? Type sub if you are, and if you haven't, click that sub button, then type sub, because we want you guys to be with us all season long. It's 100% free, and pat yourself on the back if you are a Bears Now subscriber by typing sub in the comments. We appreciate all the support. Once you do subscribe, turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Nestless, by the way, do you think DJ Moore could have another 1,000-yard season? Absolutely. I know he had just under 900 last year, but I expect him to have a 1,000-yard season. If he doesn't, that means one of two things. One, a bunch of other guys got the football a lot, or two, he had a disappointing year, and I don't expect that to be the case. So not only could he, I expect him to. Tyler, is Trevis Gipson on the roster bubble? I think he has to be. Like, with the initial depth chart release, he's 4-string defensive end right now. I know it's unofficial, and we shouldn't put crazy stock into that, but he's a guy that's got to play well in the preseason, I think. So, remember, he's a Ryan Pace guy. Day 3 Ryan Pace pick. Kindle Vildor is lower on the depth chart, too. Like, those guys, you can cut them and save some money because they're in the final year of their rookie deals. I would not be surprised if that was the case. Tiger 2308, what is your opinion? Who is better, Mitch Trubisky or Jared Love? I think you mean Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love has a higher ceiling at this point, but I think Mitch probably has a higher floor. I don't think either of them are franchise quarterbacks. Michael Ellis, what should we look for in the first preseason game? Better defense, see how the offense gels. Well, if you're watching live, I'm going to have 5 things to watch for in the preseason. If you're watching this mailbag later in the week, then our preseason preview's probably already gone out. Go check that out. But I think a couple of things I want to see. A, how long do the starters play? B, how do the rookies look? I think it's always intriguing to see how these rookies play in the preseason, especially in that first game. Appreciate all the questions here on the channel. If we didn't get to you, follow me on Instagram. Slide in the DMs, ask me a question over there. I'm all caught up on some old DMs finally, so light me back up. I can answer as many of your questions over there. Any thoughts, whatever you got, at HGramNFL. We'll see you over there. Type sub if you're a subscriber. I'll get some shout-outs here. And then we got another race, Chip. You ready?
I'm always ready.
You ready?
I'm always ready. I got to prove these people wrong. They think I'm a practice squad player.
Chip's. The ego's taking a bit of a hit over there for Chip.
They've been watching Trace and Rolly, these guys taking down these drinks. I can't let them show me up. I've got to show what I got.
All right, so we'll load up the chamber again. You're gonna have to get another drink out of there, but I'll get some shout outs here. The Gabe says sub. PB says sub. Type sub if you're a subscriber, and if you're not, tell me why you're not. It's 100% free. We appreciate the support. Lewis says, I think we are a center away from the playoffs. Please upgrade the position. I mean, with who? Ben Jones? I guess you could sign Ben Jones. I think it's going to be Cody Whitehair, and you hope he's good enough. I said that all offseason. I thought you should upgrade center. I liked the idea of Whitehair moving back there, but because I think he's better than Mustapher, but I don't think it's going to be like an awesome situation at center. I'll be honest. I don't. I think it'll be better, but I don't think it'll be incredible, if that makes any sense. Evan says, could the defense be top 15 if the secondary is the real deal? If offense is top 15, I could see 10 to 12 wins. Look, if the offense and defense are both top 15, you'll probably make the playoffs. I don't know how many wins that equates into, but you'll almost certainly make the playoffs if you're top 15 in both units. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's achievable. Will it happen? We'll see. But, yeah, I do think this will be a really good rushing attack, and I think the passing game will be improved, and the defense will be improved. Is that enough for top 15? We'll see. JJ says Dieter Eiselen will be the center. No, he won't. Doug Kramer got some work with the ones today. That's an interesting little nugget. Could he get a chance? Maybe. Maybe he could get a chance. We'll wait and see. All right, so what we're going to do our race after this next segment. We have 2 segments to go. Do it now? Okay, we'll do it now. We'll knock out this race now. Shout out to Brian with the $100 super chat. Get the booms going in the chat for Brian. Shout out Brian. I'm going to pour mine, and then Chip is going to go get a beer and pour his. Back to Brian with his $100 super chat. Shout out Brian. Larry says boom. Joseph says boom. Gene says boom. We got Busy Womack saying boom. 2.0. PB saying boom. Jason M says boom. John Taylor. Tim Griffin. Chef. Gene. Jaron Thomas. Get the booms in for Brian. If you guys want to donate to the program, here's our super chat menu today. If you're a first-time super chatter, take a sip. $10 for taking a shot of Fireball. Got plenty available. $20, you get a sticker on the Justin Fields boot. Then for $100, Jake Chipper, a.k.a. Chip, will do a beer bong, which now we're going to do a race because that is what the deal we made. So shout out to the real ones. Chip, you need some redemption. He says it's going to happen. And if it does happen, you know what that means. You got to break the tie. I'll be honest. I think Chip gets me here.
All right, so literally after he said that sentence, the book shifted. The line shifted. Harrison's at -160 now, and Jake is at +135. Tight
I think
race
the
here.
value's with Chip here.
There is value because plus money.
C for Chip, H for Harry. Sam, count us down, and we'll get this thing rolling. Same
Alrighty.
thing, on go.
And 3, 2. Hey, whoa! Jake's put his mouth on it and everything.
Oh! False start. False start from Chip.
I was on 2, and Jake was starting to drink.
Oh my goodness. This is questionable.
All right.
Chip with the steal from Tim Griffin. All right, take 2. Here we go.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. It's Harrison again!
Wow. I've been on my game today.
2 and 0.
I've been on my game today. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah.
It was close, but I did get you.
By like a quarter of a second.
Woo! Chips, he's challenging the call.
He's on the outside looking in right now.
He's hired Giuliani for review. Kidding. Stupid joke.
I laughed.
Oh, man. Chip. I'll be honest, Chip. The other night, you were hammering those beers. You know, there might be something to that. Sam says Chip just lost that challenge in a timeout.
And a timeout.
Man.
I feel like the Happy Dads, though, I feel like they go down easier. So I'm not sure why I would.
Well,
not sure what's going on.
Another 100 comes in. We'll see if third time's the charm. We'll go 2 for 1. Get another 100. Chip's just not thirsty. Stay thirsty, my friend.
I'm always thirsty, so Tyler, not right on that one. I'm always thirsty.
All right, well, let me get some water here. Then we'll jump into this segment. Shout out to Brian for the $100 super chat. Hit that like button if you haven't already. All right, coming up next, the Bears released their first unofficial depth chart. What does it mean? What are my top takeaways? We're going to discuss that. Oh, is Trace making an appearance? Trace from the Yannick stream.
I just want to say, Jake Chipper, you're a disappointment. You better learn how to drink faster for the Bears fans, because this is not Green Bay. We drink like champions in Chicago.
I got played.
Win, but we drink like champions.
Hey, win or lose, we booze.
We still booze. Any deals to offer?
About to go live on Niners.
Oh, so no.
What if we get something right now, this second?
Trace says if things get rowdy during this segment, give him a shout. So, hey, it's up to you guys. Arthur, by the way, says Harry's just happy to win one. I'm not going to lie. That's absolutely correct. I usually take L's when it comes to chugging, but the effort's been the effort's been there today. I brought my lunch pail to work, and we've gotten it done. A little 2-0 sweep here so far today. All right, let's get back on track with the content. Bears depth chart release. What does it mean? I've got some takeaways to discuss. The Chicago Bears have released their first unofficial, do want to make that clear, unofficial depth chart heading into the preseason opener against the Tennessee Titans. What stands out? What doesn't? What are my top takeaways? We're going to go straight into it here on Chicago Bears Now. Takeaway number 1 from the Bears' initial depth chart. The stock seems clearly to be down on Trevis Gipson and Kindle Vildor. You look at the respective depth charts from the Bears on those two positions. Trevis Gipson isn't even on the 3 deep. He's listed as a 4th defensive end right now, which means at best, on paper, he's the 7th defensive end in the pecking order. D'Anthony Jones, UDFA out of Houston, is ahead of him. I think that is pretty damn notable. Now, for Kindle Vildor, full disclosure, the Bears only listed it as 2 starting cornerback roles, and they had Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon as their top 2 corners, but we know they're going to play nickel a lot. So I gave Tyreek Stevenson the nod, but they had him and Terrell Smith as the 3rd and 4th corner. So keep that in mind. It'll really be Johnson CB1, Gordon CB2, but he's going to play nickel. And then CB3, your second outside guy, will be Stevenson or Smith. I'll stick with Stevenson for now, but Vildor is behind Greg Stroman, Josh Blackwell, Michael Ojemudia, Jalen Jones, and the guys I previously mentioned. He's like CB9 right now. It kind of feels like it's the end of the road for a pair of Ryan Pace picks, right? 2 guys that got drafted late in the 4th, 5th round guys in the 2020 draft. They're in the final year of their rookie contracts. The Bears can save a little money if they do cut them. So they're going to have to earn roster spots for Ryan Poles to keep them around. I think Trevis Gipson and Kindle Vildor were just put on the hot seat. Now, what would be a bigger surprise? Which cut would be a bigger surprise? Type TG for Trevis Gipson, or you can type KV for Kindle Vildor. I'll be honest, I do think the Gipson cut would surprise me a little bit more. I think it would be more notable. Now, obviously, signing Yannick Ngakoue and Terrell Lewis's emergence has probably made it a little trickier for Gipson, but I think Vildor was way more on my radar as a potential cut candidate than Trevis Gipson was, I'll be completely honest. So that would surprise me at least a little bit. Velus Jones Jr. confusion. Something feels off with this initial depth chart with Velus Jones for a couple of reasons. Number 1, he comes in on as wide receiver 7 or 8 on the initial depth chart. DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, Equinemius St. Brown, Tyler Scott, and Dante Pettis were all listed ahead of him. He was listed on the same row with Darius Fountain, so he's 7 or 8. First of all, Pettis hasn't even been practicing. Like, Velus Jones in 2 weeks of practice hasn't leapfrogged Dante Pettis. That's not a great sign. But on the flip side, Velus Jones is listed as the starting kick and punt returner on special teams. Like, so what's the disconnect? Like, is he going to make the team just as a returner, not as a receiver at all? Or is there some confusion on the Bears end of things? Number 1, I get we don't take crazy amount of stock into the first unofficial depth chart, but something seems off. Like, is he safe to make the team? Is he not? Does he have to have a flawless preseason as a return man to lock up a roster spot? Like, maybe they view him as a great returner, but not much at receiver, so they're going to give him the chance to earn a roster spot as a return guy. I don't know. Something feels off. I don't know where this is heading, but I'm curious what you guys think. Is Velus Jones a lock to make this team? Type L for lock or B for he's on the bubble. Richard Hightower, the Bears special teams coordinator, did say on Tuesday that Velus has done a great job tracking punts and kicks, and he's really improved in that area. So I do think they really like him as a returner, but he's got to give you at least a little more as a receiver, where it's been very up and down up to this point in training camp. Rocket Money, if you want to keep things up and not go up and down, well, start saving money on a month-to-month basis with Rocket Money. There's subscriptions for everything these days, from streaming services to fitness programs, and sometimes it feels impossible to keep tabs on what you're paying for each month. That's why I'm such a huge fan of Rocket Money, a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills all in one place. Most people think they're spending, $80 per month on subscriptions. In reality, you're probably spending over $200. I found out that I was still paying an annual fee of about $100 on some golf streaming app that I signed up for a couple of years ago. So after I downloaded Rocket Money, they identified that for me. I clicked the cancel button, boom, didn't get charged for the upcoming year, which I was about to in the month of September. Rocket Money helps you cancel any unnecessary subscriptions, set budgets, monitor your monthly spending. You can even negotiate to lower some of your bills within the Rocket Money app. Check them out. Download the app today. RocketMoney.com/BearsNow. That link is in the comments and in the description. Save money with Rocket Money. Trestan Ebner, is he ahead of Travis Homer? Well, according to the depth chart, he is. Now, the Bears really confused us. On their initial depth chart, they had Roschon Johnson as RB5, but that was quickly corrected. I think they had a misprint, so they fixed it to Khalil Herbert, RB1, Deontay Foreman, RB2, Roschon Johnson, RB3, Trestan Ebner, RB4, and then Travis Homer as RB5. Of course, Kari Blasingame is the fullback. He's almost certainly a lock to make this team. So I've always questioned, will they carry 3 running backs? Will they carry 4? If they do carry 4, it's down to Ebner or Homer, I believe, who kind of have a similar skill set, special teams, pass-catching ability. I think you'd like Ebner to make it because you picked him in the 6th round last year, whereas Homer was a free agent. But we'll have to wait and see. It does appear, at least on paper, that Ebner has the slight advantage going into this time, and I think that would be the ideal scenario. Subscribe and turn on notifications. If the Bears make a roster move, we're going to make a video. That's what we always do. It doesn't matter if it's a huge signing, small signing, cut, trade, whatever. We're going to break it down, so don't miss out. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Is Larry Borom locked in as the swing tackle? I think the early analysis here would suggest that that is the case. He was listed as the backup left tackle to Braxton Jones on the initial depth chart. Aviante Collins, who they signed before training camp, is listed as the right tackle. Alex Leatherwood has been strictly working at guard at that left guard spot behind Tevin Jenkins, so I don't think he's really in play as a swing tackle option. So right now, with Leatherwood kicking inside and Collins being pretty soon, I think that Borom is that guy. And quite frankly, I think moving Leatherwood inside is probably a good move. I always thought this after watching a few games of him with the Raiders, is his skill set would be better suited as a guard. He's more of a mauler. He's not as athletic. Kick him inside and see what he can do there. And, I think he'll probably make this team as a backup interior guy. And then Larry Borom has the early edge at swing tackle. I still think the depth on this offensive line kind of stinks. I think the starters could be good, but we know injuries pop up, especially when you have guys like Tevin Jenkins. He's been hurt in each of his first 2 years. So I do wonder if the Bears could still add at this position. And what say you? Put your GM hat on for a moment. Do the Bears need to sign an offensive lineman? Give me a Y for yes, or give me an N for no. I think they probably do. I could see something happening between now and week 1. Yannick Ngakoue and Mercedes Lewis roles, are they clear? They kind of seem to be, right? I mean, considering when this depth chart came out, I think Lewis had practiced once and Ngakoue hadn't practiced at all, yet their roles seem defined. They're not starting at the bottom of the pecking order, if you will. Ngakoue was already listed as a starting edge rusher opposite of DeMarcus Walker. Mercedes Lewis was penciled in as the tight end 3. They ended up cutting Jake Tonjes, so he's out of the mix. So right now, Steven Carlson is tight end 4. And quite frankly, I think this team's probably only going to carry 3 tight ends with Cole Kmet, Robert Tonyan, and Mercedes Lewis. And that's kind of my takeaway. Eberflus called Ngakoue a 3-down guy, so I expect him to start and play quite a bit. And Mercedes Lewis, when he was a free agent, I called him the ideal number 3 tight end with his blocking prowess, and I think the Bears view it as the same way. Robert Tonyan recruited him, so did Luke Getsy. He ends up signing, and now you got your 3rd tight end, and that's kind of where those things sit. So in other cases, practice execution, if you will, has dictated where players are on the depth chart. Not with Ngakoue and Lewis. These are proven veterans. They're already penciled into their expected roles. So there you have it. Those are my 5 takeaways. Stock down on Trevis Gipson and Kindle Vildor. Little confusion on Velus Jones. We'll see how he performs in the preseason. Treston Ebner ahead of Travis Homer, Larry Borum as the swing tackle, and then Yannick Ngakoue and Mercedes Lewis. Their roles do appear to be pretty well defined. All right, appreciate everybody who tuned in to today's show. Don't forget to subscribe. If you hate the Packers, if you're ready for week 1, 33 days away and counting, type FGB. We need a good FGB chant going on in the chat right now. Get the FGBs rolling. Let's get it. FGB. 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 We got John, Ernest, Kenya, Tyler, Ralph, Steezy, Big O Fishing, Josh Ward, Ernest, Steezy, Gene, The Gabe, Kenny Janetsko, Busy Womack, Willie, Jeff Bartlett, The Gabo. We got Larry. Keep those FGBs rolling in if you can't stand the Packers. All right, shout out to Paleo. He says, maybe the Vela stuff is a typo. I think he makes it. I also think he makes it. I just think it's weird he's listed behind Dante Pettis, who has not practiced at all in training camp. I know Pettis had a strong spring, but to me it's like that was then, this is now. Like, something feels off there. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Geezer, just hope the offensive line are bouncers and not doormen. Yeah, I mean, look, you want them to be physical. You want them to set the tone and protect the quarterback. So let's see how they perform on Saturday against the Tennessee Titans. A good defensive line. We'll see how much of their starters play, but that should be a pretty good test. Before we jump into our last segment, this is our Super Chat menu. If you're a first-time Super Chatter, I have to take a sip of my drink. $10, we're taking a shot of Fireball. $20, you get a sticker on the Justin Fields boot. For $100, Chip will do a beer bong. First time producing the show, and I've agreed to race him. So 2 for 1 there. If we get 100, we will do another race, and maybe third time's the charm for Chip. But
oh man,
I feel the confidence waning over there.
No.
He's still confident.
Confidence is going nowhere. Confidence is going nowhere. I feel like I should have won the last one. I got a little bit of a slower start. If we go round 3, I'm telling you, that's on me.
Are you going Plaxico Burress and guaranteeing victory?
I'm guaranteed.
He's guaranteeing victory.
Guaranteed.
If you guys want to see it, what are the updated betting odds, Sam? -210 for me.
Vegas has got Harrison at
-2.
I love the underdog spot. I love the roll. I love the underdog roll.
+150 for Chip. All right. -1,000 for the series prize. I guess, what's that, a best of 5? I mean, that probably makes sense. He's not three-peating me, so.
Tyler Johnson said stay thirsty. That's right. Always staying thirsty.
He says he's ready. We'll see if Bears Now subs want to see a third race. We'll have to wait and see. All right, let's jump into this final segment here. We're going to take a look at the preseason opener as the Bears host the Titans this Saturday at Soldier Field. Chicago Bears football is back, and I am thrilled. My name is Harrison Graham. Preseason week 1 is this Saturday, August 12th, 12 o'clock Central Time at Soldier Field as the Tennessee Titans come to town to take on the Chicago Bears. And you guessed it, we're going to be live for a preseason watch party. Bears, Titans, live watch party. Subscribe and join us this Saturday as, I don't know where the typo is there, live on Saturday. Excuse me on that one. 12 Eastern, 11 Central Time. We'll be live for an hour pregame show. You're not going to want to miss it, so be sure to join the party as we're going to have pregame show, play-by-play, live analysis. We'll have some drinks, have a good time, and we'll have a postgame show as well, so do not miss out. The preseason is here, so on today's show, I got 5 things to watch for in the Bears preseason opener against the Tennessee Titans at Soldier Field. So let's go ahead and dive on into it here. I think number 1, and it's a little unclear as we're filming this at this point, how does Justin Fields look? Because we don't know how much he's going to play, but Matt Eberflus had previously said that he will play the starters some. Now, last year, Fields in most games would play between like 1 and 3 drives. It kind of just depended on how long those drives would go. I could see 1 to 2 series perhaps. I don't think that it's going to be some elongated stretch where he's going to play a full half or something like that. But I do expect him to play at least a little bit. Now, injuries have piled up a bit in training camp. It's possible that the Bears take more of a cautious approach in this first game, but we all want to see, how does the passing game look? How does that look for Justin Fields, the offensive line, the receivers with the new additions on board? Because we know how good of a runner Justin Fields is. He rushed for over 1,100 yards last year. It's the passing game that needs to take a jump. Is he going to be on that Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts trajectory where in year 3, now that he has a number 1 receiver in DJ Moore, he takes that big step? That's what we're hoping for. The reviews out of training camp have mostly been good, but now it's time to start seeing it in games. Preseason won't show everything, but give me a few rhythm shows or throws. I want to see that those signs, those glimmers of the processing speeding up and him hitting the easy completions and doing those type of things. I don't need to see any crazy runs or home run throws necessarily, but a couple rhythm throws, completions, I'd be happy with that coming out of this game on Saturday. Who's excited to watch Justin Fields play? I'm just glad to see JF1 back out there. Type JF1 if you are. Preseason, regular season, it's always fun to watch Justin Fields and the Bears play. If you're with me, type JF1. Is the Chase Claypool hype real? I think it is, but we got to see it in real games, right? And preseason's not even a real game, but that would be a good first step, right? Or a good next step. I think the first step has been achieved with how good of a training camp he's had. He's had a great camp. He really has. I mean, he's really stood out. He's been one of the players that consistently is being talked about in a positive manner. Eberflus has been pleased with him. Getsy has as well. He's been able to practice every single day, and now it's about producing on Sundays because the Bears traded for the guy that produced his first 2 years in Pittsburgh. That did not translate last year. He was off to a slower start in year 3 with the Steelers, and that continued with the Bears even more so. He was less of a factor after the trade. Full offseason, got to know the playbook better, admitted it was the biggest year of his life coming up, and it appears he's taken that to heart with the strong training camp he's had. Give me one Fields to Claypool completion. Just one. That's all I'm asking. Give me one. I don't care if it's a quick bubble screen, a slant, a 10-yard comeback. Let's see if that connection can brew this Saturday in Chicago. I would love to see that on full display. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's show. If you want to make some money during the preseason, and let's just be honest, preseason football is more fun when you bet on the games. Go to chatsports.com/Bears. Use our promo code BEARDOWN to get a 125% deposit bonus. Put down $100, you get $125 for free. 200 down, you'll get $250 for free. Get that extra bonus play when you use our promo code BEARDOWN at chatsports.com/Bears. You look at the betting odds here. Bears 3.5-point favorites. The over/under 37.5 points. Vegas projecting like a 21-17 Bears victory. Give me the over on the total points. I'll take the Bears to cover the 3.5 as well. They win. Over/under covers also. I know executive producer Sam has already put some money down on this one. Rookies. I want to see the rookies. That's one of the most fun parts about preseason. How does Ryan Poles' draft class look? These are the 10 players he drafted back in April and May's draft. Of course, there will be more focus on the higher round pick guys, but for the most part, I'm intrigued with all these guys. You know, Travis Bell and Kendall Williamson, your 2 7th-round picks, not as much, but Darnell Wright, how does he look at right tackle? Javon Dexter, he's had a strong camp. Does that translate? Tyreek Stevenson, who's competing with Terrell Smith as your second outside corner. Zach Pickens, Roschon, Tyler Scott, Sewell. Like, these are all guys that could play some this year. So I want to see how they look when the bullets are flying. Always learn a lot about rookies during the preseason. And I do think these 2 guys in particular are going to be some players I'm watching. I expect them to play a lot in the preseason. Tyler Scott, Roschon Johnson. I know Roschon's been a little nicked up in camp, so we'll see what his status is in this first game. But if he plays, I expect him to play quite a bit and do his thing out there. So I'm excited for that. I'm definitely excited for Tyler Scott. These are 2 rookies that could be a bigger factor early on than people think. Which rookie are you most excited to watch in the preseason starting on Saturday? I think Tyler Scott, just for preseason. Now, I want to see Darnell Wright play well. I think he's the most important guy, but in terms of excitement, give me Tyler Scott. Trenches play. Listen, that was like the storyline to me coming out of last year is you had to get better in the trenches. And Ryan Poles did invest in both sides of the ball. You look at the offensive line, you slide Cody Whitehair to center, who's had an up-and-down training camp, but he should be better than Sam Mustipher. You draft Darnell Wright in the first round. You sign Nate Davis, who's missed some time with injuries in camp. We'll see what his status is in the opener. Tevin Jenkins flips from right guard to left guard. Year 2 of Braxton Jones, in theory, this could be a pretty good offensive line, but there's still a lot of question marks. I do think the defensive line will be much improved. I love the addition of Yannick Ngakoue. I don't expect him to play in the opener, but obviously once you get into the season, that impact should be felt. DeMarcus Walker's been banged up. He probably doesn't play in this game either, but Billings was a big addition. Javon Dexter, you bring in Rasheem Green. Year 2 of Dominic Robinson. Trevis Gipson, who appears to be on the outside looking in based on the initial depth chart. What does he do? So trenches play is something to watch during this preseason games because we don't get a full taste of what that looks like during the practices because it's not completely full contact. And the Bears desperately need to be better in the trenches, both on the O-line, both on the D-line. The offensive line struggled last year. Defensive line was dead last in sacks and could not stop the run. They've got to be more proficient in the trenches in 2023. And then that number 2 outside cornerback battle. Tyreek Stevenson, Terrell Smith, pair of rookies. Assuming both these guys play, I know Smith was nicked up on Tuesday's practice, I guess. We'll see how it goes throughout the week for him. But assuming both those guys play, which guy can win that number 2 outside corner job? Jalen Johnson is your CB1. Kyler Gordon is your nickel. Does Stevenson or Smith win that CB2 job? I do think it's just those two. I really do. And I'm excited to see which player can separate themselves. I think this competition will largely be won or lost during these 3 preseason games, which starts on Saturday. Stevenson, Smith, I'm excited for these 2 guys. For Ryan Poles to find both of these players in the NFL draft, I think is really good. They traded up for Stevenson, and then the value of Smith was with his athletic profile in the 5th round was really good, and now they're competing. Both these guys know it. They've talked about it. Yeah, it's a competition. That's what they've told us. So Stevenson started slow in camp. He's really picked it up. Terrell Smith has been a solid player throughout training camp. So we'll see. I'm very intrigued to see this. I expect both of them to play a lot during the preseason as this competition plays out. And like I said, I really think these 3 exhibition games will determine who wins that starting job, maybe more than any other position battle on this football team right now. Now, which player are you most excited to watch on Saturday against the Tennessee Titans? If you had to pick one guy, who are you most excited to watch? Yes, the answer can be Justin Fields. I'm going to go Tyler Scott. Give me the rookie receiver out of Cincinnati. I'm fired up to see what he can do in his first action of the NFL. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Subscribe. Join us on Saturday as the Bears take on the Titans in preseason game number 1. We'll be live probably an hour before kickoff at worst, 30 minutes before, getting you ready for the game. And then, of course, full play-by-play coverage and a post-game show after. So don't miss it. Subscribe and turn on notifications. All right. Someone says Badgett. Yeah, Tyson Badgett, QB4. He'll be fun in the preseason. Tyler Scott from Ralph. Jaron Thomas says Tyler Scott. Harley says Javon Dexter. Javon and Fields from Oz, yeah. Darnell Mooney. We'll see if Mooney plays in the opener. They've been ramping him up. I could see them holding him out, to be frank. If he plays, I don't think he'll play more than a series. Tyler Scott from Joe. Stevenson from Busy. Darnell Wright from Oz. Yeah, Wright would be up there for me. Zach Pickens would be a bonus if he's good. Yeah. Any of these rookies that can contribute, that's a bonus. That is definitely a bonus.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited to see Chase Claypool. He's in my fantasy team.
Claypool, yeah.
I'm hoping for a big year this year. He's stashed down on my bench, but
yeah,
if he can break out, I got Justin Fields too.
Get that combo going. Love that. Yeah, Claypool's a good one. I'll be curious to see how much he plays with the starters. It would be cool to see what P.J. Walker does. Yeah, he's had an up-and-down camp. You want some stability at your backup QB position. All right, we'll make one more deal before we get out of here. What do you say, Chip? If we get to 400, we're at $359.96. So $40.04. If we get 40, we'll count it.
Sure.
If we get to 400 in Super Chats, Chip and I will do one more race for the road. Then we'll get out of here.
Gotta get it. Gotta get
We'll
one.
put 2 minutes on the clock. Yeah, no loop today. 2 minutes on the clock. If we get to 400, we'll do one more race. If not, we're going to call it a day. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Chip wants the third time to be a charm, so we're giving you all a big discount if you guys want to see it. I'll read some questions in the meantime. 30 seconds gone. Mike says Claypool and Dexter. Finley says Darnell Wright, Tyler Scott, Dexter. I want to see how Velus Jones Jr. plays. Yeah, Velus Jones. I think it's a big preseason for him. Jeff says sup. What's up, Jeff? What's going on? Hopefully Justin Fields just plays one great drive and ends his night. Yeah, like if Fields goes out there and they put together a touchdown drive or even a field goal drive, I'd be content. I don't need to see much more. If they go 3 and out, I'd probably want to see one more drive, but otherwise I'm good. Tim Griffin says Harrison is Aaron Rodgers to Chip. He owns him. I don't own Chip. It's only been 2 races. We gotta. He needs more of a chance than that. 50 seconds away. Chip is begging us to get there. He needs one more crack at this.
Hey, you guys are talking crazy right now. Talking crazy right now.
You're talking crazy.
I need to get one more chance. This is insane.
One more chance, he says. Gregory says, I want to see everyone. LOL. I have missed football. Exactly. Deontay Foreman, I think he'll play. No reason why he wouldn't. He's not a clear-cut starter. 30 seconds. To just do it for the fans. Man, here's the thing. If I take down another one, that's just more, that'll put me over the edge a little bit here. PJT polls on the O-line. Foreman from Oz. Yeah, I think he'll play. I'm excited to watch him. Jay says hi. What's up, Jay? All right. 2 minutes come and gone. We'll stash it for now. How about this? Trying to think. What's a fair deal? Already giving them a discount. How about this? How about for 20?
20. I like that deal. Just a quick
40.
20.
Just a quick 20. Doesn't have to come from one person. Be 20 total. Someone will get a boot sticker too. It's a 2-for-1. You get a sticker.
Come on, that's a beautiful
and we'll get a
deal.
race.
Beautiful deal.
$20 deal. That's where I'm at. Jay says I'm going to sub. Hold up. Appreciate that, Jay. Finley says Nate Davis. We'll see if he plays in the opener. He returned to practice today, but he was limited. I could see them holding him out. Can't wait to see the 3-headed monster at receiver. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Oh,
sorry for coming in so late. You're good, Finley. You're all good. Let's see. What else we got? All right, we're going to have to get out of here soon.
Man.
You guys killed it, though. 360 on a casual Tuesday stream. You guys are legends.
Killed it.
Chip had his chances, man. It
was there.
Oh, there's 10.
Oh, there's 10.
One more 10 and we're there. Tito, that's a shot as well. I'll take a shot for Tito. One more 10 and we're there.
One more
Cheers,
10.
Tito.
One more 10. One more 10.
One more 10.
Chris says, great show, Harrison, Graham, and Rolly. I'm not Rolly, unfortunately.
Rolly's out today, but
I am not Rolly.
Rolly will be back. Should I watch your lives? I hope so. I'd like you to, but
I'm not Rolly.
That's up to you. Shout out Tito. It's Chip Skylark. Great show. My chatty teeth in me.
Oh, all good, Chris. No worries.
Aldridge. You're good, bro. Jay says okay. Yeah, come hang out. Tuesdays, game days. We might do more lives during the season. So, Philip says you're awesome. Go Bears. Get the bear downs going for Philip. All right, got to throw a timer up. Another 2 minutes. We get another 10. We're doing the race. There it is.
There
Peter
we
K.
go.
All right, Chip. So we need 2 more drinks. I'm good with whatever the beverage is. You can just do another Happy Dad for me and then pick whatever for you.
Sounds good.
All right. Chip's going to go load us up, and then we're going to get out of here. Shout out to Peter K. Great name. My son's first name is Peter. Great name. Bayless is a gadget guy and kick return guy. Maybe, but still, your gadget guy usually isn't wide receiver 7. Usually like wide receiver 5. So. All right. 3rd race with Chip. Coming at you. Here we go. Chip's getting the beers. Chip's getting the beers. Get your votes in. Who wins the race? Type C for Chip, H for Harrison. PB's rolling with me. Oh, you're sticking with the Happy Dads. Oh, the H's are flying in, Chip. They don't believe. They don't believe. They don't believe in Chip. Oh, there's a 5 from Sam Laktara. We'll get that on screen before we sign off. All right. There's mine. I will say this. I know I said it last time, and I proved myself wrong. I actually do think Chip wins this one because these are straight from the fridge. The colder they are, the worse I do. We'll see. We'll see. Jay says, never mind, Chip. We'll see. That's funny, Sam Laktara. We'll get that on screen in a minute. Chip, best of luck. Sam, back in here. You want to count us down one last time? Here we go.
Final odds have shifted back into Chip's favor just slightly.
Oh.
Harrison minus 190, Jake plus 165.
I'm still the favorite. It's just not minus 200.
Yes, yeah.
All right, you know the rules. 3, 2, 1, go. Then we start.
3, 2, 1, go. Come on, Jake. Come on, Jake. Oh, he's at a quicker pace there. That one's Chip's. There we go.
Yeah, too cold.
Was Harrison?
You got me there.
Was Harrison sipping?
No, I really wasn't. I really wasn't.
I had to get one. I couldn't.
He had to go. That was a better pull from you.
That's good.
That was good.
Avoid the season sweep.
All right. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us here on a Tuesday. We had a good time. Chip wins game 3. I win the series, though. Oh, Brian with the 20. Brian with the 20. That's a boot sticker. We just raced, Brian, for you, but you still get a sticker on the Justin Fields boot, so we'll get that going for you. And I'll take a shot for the road because that gets us over 400. I think that's only fair. Let me see if I can get this sticker going. Shout out to Brian. Yeah, I can't pull this sticker off. This is a piss-poor effort from your boy here. Oh, a first-time super chatter. They don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. Cue the Wolf of Wall Street. All right, that's actually 2 stickers. We got Brian with the sticker. Shout out Brian. There you are. And then let's flash this Sam 5 real quick. Sam Laktara says, Chip, you need to look Harrison right now in the eye with your best Rocky impression and tell him, come on, you ain't so bad like he's Clubber Lang. Take a win here. Hey, he took the dub. He didn't have to say that.
Would have been a good idea,
I'll give Chip his credit. I'll give Chip his credit.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm.
Hey, Chip with the 1-game win streak from Sammy. That's right. All that matters is how you finish. And I got the streak right now.
That's true. That's true. I can't get this sticker off. I'm letting this loss get to me.
Good.
Super Fud with the 20. He says JF1. So that's a sticker and a shot because it's a first-time Super Chatter. Shout out Super Fud. So Super Fud, you're on the Justin Fields boot. I'm writing your name back here right now. There you are, Super Fud. All right, guys, great show. Appreciate all the donations. Next time we're live, unless there's major breaking news, will be this Saturday against the Tennessee Titans. Bears-Titans kickoff at noon, pregame 11 a.m. Central Time, so join us for that. We're fired up about it. I hope you guys are as well. Until then, bear down.